Hello, I'm Kerry Gorgone with Appfire, and this is Appfire Presents, the best project portfolio management show by Appfire. Today, we're going to address the question, how can peer review improve project outcomes? And to answer that for us is Dmitrii Ilenkov, PMP, PhD, managing partner of PM Club and founder of P3Express.com. Very excited about today's episode, so stick around for 10 minutes of awesome.
Appfire Presents, the best project portfolio management show by Appfire.
Dmitrii, thanks for being here. So let's talk about peer review in the context of project outcomes. I've actually never heard peer review mentioned in terms of project management. I've heard it in terms of scientific journals, even legal publications and academic work, but not project management.
Yeah, and that's a pity. Actually, the concept of peer review is not new at all. In academia, it's been known for centuries. First time, 17th century, actually, when the process was formalized in one of the scientific journals. And we also use peer reviews in healthcare, like clinical peer review. That's a thing. And what about IT, programming, code review? Code review is a kind of must-have now. But projects.
Well, that's interesting, though, because a lot of times when you're going to add a feature to software or make changes, if you're peer reviewing the code, you would think the whole process could benefit from, peer review for like, hey, how did this go? Not good or good?
Absolutely, and it's a kind of a standard in academia, right? If you have a scientific magazine as journal, then all the articles have to be peer reviewed, right? It establishes credibility. It provides high quality, makes sure that this paper should be published. But projects, do we really use peer review?
Well, I want to talk about what it looks like, who participates, and how it works. But before we do, like, why would you even do this? What are the benefits of peer review for project management?
Okay, the first benefit, doing projects we're normally in a hurry. I mean, we need first to launch the project, then we have to meet the deadline. And we're under pressure. Yeah, honestly, we're often under pressure, customer, team. But sometimes we need to stop and make sure we did everything right. And I'm not even talking about like the product we're delivering. I'm talking about project management processes. It's amazing how many project management professionals nearly always skip project management activities while doing projects. We all do that, unfortunately, because like we're in a hurry. Next time this project is too small and this project is probably too big and we have to hurry again. So why do this? Why do that? So we skip all the project management activity, whatever methodology we use. And then we say project management doesn't work. Yeah, but probably we don't do project management.
It is tempting to move into the next thing, but what I hear you saying is if you take the time, it's worth it to do some peer review of the project management process.
Exactly. That's only one benefit, right? Just have a look if you haven't skipped everything. The second benefit, well, we all are biased. That's okay. We try to be rational, but we're not. We all have our preferences. Remember, we were talking about NLP, and there was that principle of project management that you have to try to stick to the truth and to the results, not your affiliations. But unfortunately, we're human beings, and very often we do what we've always done, not what is best for our project. So we are biased, and we need a second pair of eyes to have a look on what we've been doing. That's the second benefit.
This makes so much sense because you can think something went great, but the other people, maybe they feel like you pushed them a little too hard or you were a little too aggressive, or maybe they feel like you didn't follow up, enough. So I think you're right. You're exactly right. Perspective. Okay, so what else?
Often we complain that we have difficulties with sharing knowledge within our organizations. And that's true. It's really hard to share our knowledge both tacit and explicit because, yeah, we can share some charts, we can share some documents, which we actually often not do. But it's very hard to share first-hand experience. And sharing that experience can benefit us a lot. because other project managers will see the issues that you face, the solutions that worked, and they can spread this best practice in their teams, in their departments. So sharing knowledge is another great benefit. While reviewing your project, the other project manager will benefit, and that's very important.
If you have a large enterprise, you can have teams operating using different methodologies and everything across your organization. This is important. Sharing of knowledge is important.
Yeah,
So,
there is a lot to learn.
Dmitrii, what does it look like when you do this? Like, who participates in it?
Okay. This concept of peer review, which is somewhere around us in other fields like medicine and science, it's not often articulated in project management. So I'll give you the way P3 Express project management system articulates it, because in P3 Express, peer review is a very important and essential activity, which we repeat in different stages. Project initiation. Before taking go, no go decision, we ask a different project manager from our company to review the activities we've already undertaken. That makes sure that you haven't forgotten about the risks. For example, yeah, that's a question I like to ask when reviewing other projects. Like, what about the risks? Have you found major risks? Do you have the ways to deal with them? And that's funny, because even skilled and very professional project managers tend to miss them. For example, once there was a project manager, they said, I can't see any risk in this project. And I said, really? And have you had experience of collaborating with this contractor before? I said, yeah. And how did it go? And they say, well, actually, the key developer went on vacation the day before the deadline, and we nearly missed the deadline because of it. And I said, ooh, fantastic.
But
How do you think?
hope springs eternal. Next time will be better.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it was summer. That's the time for vacations. So yeah, that's another risk that was very easy to find during a peer review, for example, right? So first we do peer review while project initiation.
Okay.
Then we work in cycles in P3 Express, and okay, it's called sprints in Scrum, and there are other ways to organize your work. The idea that every iteration you also have to do peer review, because during delivering your project, we often tend to skip project management activities, and that's bad. And one of the best ways to make sure you don't do this, peer review. Again, ask a different project manager from your company to review your project and your documentation, and to ask you some questions regarding how you manage your project. And there is actually one important hint here. Always ask different project managers to review your project, because first, you want to share knowledge better to more people, and second, they also can be biased. Some people find it
Like, if they
Some
trust
people,
you, like if they think that you know what you're doing, they might be tempted to just check the box and be like, looked at it, it's great.
absolutely. Or some people find it uncomfortable to ask hard questions, to press. So yeah, we need to ask different project managers to review the project. So this is another.
I was just going to say, this isn't like a post-mortem or a lessons learned that you do just at the end. You're saying you do this at the beginning, you do it again after each, is it each milestone or each sprint? Like, which piece? So you're doing it throughout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually in the end, you also do it. You do it in the project closure to make sure that you closed your project properly, that you handed over the product properly, that that you're ready to archive all the documentation, so that the project is really finished and you're really ready to go on. So yeah, project peer review should be performed on a regular basis, not only like post-mortem.
So if you want to learn more about P3 Express in general, you should go check out p3express.com because Dmitrii knows what he's talking about. Thank you for joining today. If you'd like more episodes of the best project portfolio management show by Appfire, or to hear about any of our project portfolio management apps, you can check out hub.appfire.com, and we'll see you next time.